Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special live edition of Doctor Who Reviews, unless you watch us on YouTube, in which case it's not live. We've made it to episode 100. I cannot believe it.
So,
6 years.
Yeah.
We've been doing this on and off for 6 years.
We've been through what? We've been through 3 different doctors, and God knows, and we've touched every doctor in classic stuff that we've been doing during lockdown.
Yeah, well, depending on when you think we started.
Every doctor. Let's not say that.
I think we started at the end of Matt Smith's run, and we're here for the continuation of Jodie's run.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. The count only technically starts with a deep breath. If I have that right? Okay.
I think it's either Deep Breath or Time of the Doctor. Either way, it is episode 100 because the K9 thing didn't count. That was an addition.
Yeah, that's just something you did while I was away.
But anyway, before we get to revealing what we're talking about, I have some introductions to do.
Why was she a robot?
Oh yes, why was Melina a robot?
Because he wanted to have the perfect little girl, and he couldn't do that with a human.
That's not creepy at all, is it, Steve?
Look, he was already creepy from the moment he was like, "Goodbye, my dear sweet Melania."
Oh my God, yes.
Her name was.
What in the fuck? Okay, the things you miss when you take like a month off. Okay, so who's here with you, Rainiac, today?
Yes, well, like I said, to people that are new to this podcast, firstly, I'm very sorry, and secondly, we do a little bit of an introduction before we get into talking about our episode for the day. So, firstly,
also to the people who are new to here, why did you pick episode 100 to start on?
I'm not going to knock him for that.
Anyways.
Yeah, firstly, to my virtual left, it's been 6 years and he still won't stop talking about mirrors. It's Freezing Inferno.
Hi!
And to my virtual right, it's been 6 years and I've still got nothing. It's Concave Usurper, also known as Cat.
Can you feel the love tonight, folks? Because I certainly can't.
Well, now that we're all introduced,
yeah, shall we get to the big reveal?
No.
Shall we get to the big reveal?
Oh, please. How are we going to do this?
So
I can just blurt it out, but I think
No. We've got to give this proper build-up. So, we thought long and hard about what we were going to talk about. Also, hi, Kachiri. I see you lurking there.
Hi, Kachiri.
Hey, Kachiri. I'm keeping the trope alive!
Okay, I'll do it. And now I'm mirroring you. Fuck.
It's okay, because I also have...
I hate you all right now.
Which is actually from that episode, so it works.
And also to my virtual right, our fourth guest, Cat Soundboard.
Beautiful. But let's
give this the proper introduction. So we thought long and hard about what we could do to mark the special occasion. And you might recall, if you've been watching these enough, listening to these enough, there's a particular episode that we keep referencing, but we have never actually recorded up until now. And I think now is the time to finally start talking about it. So, without further ado, we are finally going to touch the forbidden fruit.
Maniac.
Yes, stop talking. Yes, I'll stop talking.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah, you all knew this was coming, didn't you guys? Because episode 100, we are talking about the very special episode called The Underwater Menace.
That's right! This is not a bit, this is not a joke! 100 episodes, we are actually talking about the fish people story. There they are. Look at them.
I will not apologise for that troll, because I've planned that for about 6 weeks.
Oh god, so this even goes back to before we, because this came up in the introduction it was for the episode Hyde, and I did a joke where I'm like, I'm going to talk about Hyde, let's talk about the Underwater Menace. And I recorded like 5 minutes of me talking about this story. I think really I cut a bit of it and went on like, okay, that was weird, let's talk about Hyde. But we've been building this up up the weird Gonzo story, and actually, we need to reference that poll that I so love referencing.
While you get that,
the 2014 Doctor Who magazine poll.
Yeah, while you do that, Cat's got a bit of housekeeping to take care of.
Where is that?
Yeah, absolutely right. We weren't making jokes about the Underwater Menace in the first series.
212th place out of 241. Oh.
Yeah, in the first season of our reviews, according to Kachiri, we were making jokes about the fish people. So this was this was absolutely predestined.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I even gave a reference to it in the episode 99, where I referenced the scene from UHF where they have the Wheel of Fish.
Hey.
See how that works? And for those of you in the chat, I have something special. There's a link there. I have 30 bingo cards, so if you guys want to play Doctor Who bingo, you absolutely can. We pretty much have forgotten what's on there, so we're just going to do this randomly. We're not going to...
Yeah, we've decided we're not going to influence it, and if we've done something that's already on the bingo card, you can't fill it in yet. We've got to do it when the game is active, which is now.
So I think I can click soundboard. I can click mirrors. I can click buy back to the 11th hour. Fred's fangirls over fish people. What else have we done here?
Oh god, sorry, Mag. I didn't know you had a thing about zooming on the eyes. I'll try and find a better one.
Oh. Another picture not zoomed in on the eyes.
Hang on, I'll send you the...
You know, for years I thought these were like weird goggles they were wearing, and some shots in the episodes we'll get to. I think they are wearing goggles, but these are actual like googly eyes.
Okay, so Mike, we are.
I sent you an Underwater Menace picture to you.
Yeah, we are actively trying to change the situation. Oh, you son of a bitch!
Do it!
I have to save it, so this will take a while. But that's perfect. Okay, are we all ready for this this great change of picture?
Holy mother of God!
That won't even show up on
super glued the eyes on, not verified information.
Like we wouldn't put you on the bingo, Krista. You are fantastic, and I'm loving your book.
Yes.
Aww.
I apologize for not getting it yet.
And also, I may be quoted in it once or twice here.
I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm still looking for you.
Easy
it was
nice.
I thought. What? How far in the book are you?
I don't remember the last place I was. To work on my
There you go.
Okay.
And that's a bitch and a half.
And Phil, there you go.
Let's see this shit.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good, Mike. No, it's fine, Mike. I've been triggered by pictures like that before. I absolutely
The true Underwater Menace.
Yeah, that will not be on the edited version, but it'll be a nicer picture that's not zoomed in. But yeah.
So shall I?
I should probably mention that had I actually hosted the stream, I have a whole slew of SpongeBob related pictures I was going to put up.
Okay.
You didn't change. Yes, Kitchu, I did change the picture. I can see it right now. You liar.
So, shall I get into on the Underwater Menace?
I think you probably should.
Let's get professional here for a second. Okay. I say I'm just called professional on this podcast. Okay. So, we discussed this on our Macroterra podcast, but the Underwater Menace is one of the missing stories. To very briefly summarize, in the 60s and 70s, a bunch of black and white Doctor Who was wiped from the BBC archives for various short-sighted reasons, but a lot of it came back and has been reconstructed in various ways, like animation, as we did with the Macroterra story. Unfortunately, the Underwater Menace was not one of those stories. Fortunately, thanks to a lucky find in 2011, we do have 50% of it, episodes 2 and 3, but episodes 1 and 4 are, as of this recording, missing and presumably gone forever. But that's a tragedy. But how do you watch the stories these days? Well, you could buy the DVD, but there's a problem with the DVD. The reconstruction of the episodes 1 to 4 on it are crap. It's just like one changing still every 5 minutes or something.
It's a slideshow.
It's a slideshow. Well, to be fair, that's what the fan-made versions are, but it's a slideshow with a little more effort.
Yeah.
So for this podcast, we watched the reconstructions done by the Loose Cannon Group, which are very good reconstructions. I stand by those reconstructions. They're the best way to see a missing story that isn't animation. So what they do is they take the pictures from the episodes, the telesnaps they're called, and they'll just put them up, and they might Photoshop some things here and there to make things a bit better. So if there's like a dial or a gauge moving, they'll actually Photoshop the gauge moving.
Yeah, I understand they didn't have too much to work with because they've only got like still images and pretty clean audio. One or two of their choices are a bit odd, which I'll talk about when we get to them.
Well, we'll get to that, but yeah. And most importantly for this, they have little narration bits, little scrolling subtitles that says stuff like, Polly and Jamie climb up a mountain. Just so it gives your imagination something else to work with and say, oh,
Mike, speak not that name.
Yeah, okay.
That name is banned.
Not that. Oh. Yeah,
do not mention the name of the Scottish player, in this case the Scottish dickwad.
Why? What's wrong with Ian Levine?
Oh, you said it.
Oh, we're gonna get. Oh, hang on. 3 words. Doctor in distress. There you go.
I like Doctor in distress.
You're a rare breed. Kat.
You just had to say it. You just had to.
I also like Colin Baker. So
you just had to open your mouth and say
it. So this is our first true missing story. In that half of it is gone. So our first actual reconstructions. So overall, what do we think of the reconstruction effort?
I think it's not bad for what they've got to work with, but I do have a slight bee in my bonnet because as I was researching this episode, it turns out we nearly had an animated version of the 2 missing parts.
Oh dear God, we did?
Yeah, it was actually 75% complete, and then the studio went out of business.
I didn't know that. Now I'm sad. Oh, I hope that they come back to it. Because, I mean, they technically have all the assets and stuff.
Somewhere out there is an incomplete animated version of the Underwater Menace. But just the 2 parts they didn't have.
Oh, please.
They didn't animate the
ones that they already had, the ones that already exist.
Yeah, because they're not bad quality, honestly, the 2 that they have.
Right.
So had animated fish people, and we didn't.
Well, we have the fish people in motion already, so that doesn't hurt so bad.
Yeah,
oh god! Oh, we had the fish people in motion. That's
so terrible.
That deserves its own segment to talk about when we get to that at part 3. Yeah,
we're gonna get to that. So, shall we start from the top? Episode 1.
Yeah. So a little bit of context then. This is actually, I believe, the very first story since Jamie joined up with Team TARDIS.
Really, it's the first proper Jamie companion story. In
the
previous story, the Highlanders, he's just sort of there. And Fraser Hines joining was like a last-minute decision, so they just reshot the last scene, and it's like, oh, he goes in there after all. So this is really his first proper story as companion.
It's a good decision, because Jamie's fantastic.
Oh, Jamie's absolutely fantastic.
Hang on, so Jamie's introductory story is called The Highlanders?
Yeah?
Yes.
But that's not possible.
Why? There can only be one? Thank you, Kat. I
knew you were going to walk into that. I didn't say anything. I just waited to watch the car crash happen.
I got it. I just allowed myself to get smacked in the face by that like a wet fish.
Hey.
So we opened on the story, and basically Jamie's like, what in the fuck is a TARDIS?
Yeah.
So it's the basic sell. Oh, it travels in time and space. You can go anywhere. It's bigger on the inside. Blah blah blah. What in the fuck are you talking about?
And our crew consists of the second Doctor, played by Patrick Troughton, Jamie, played by Fraser Hines, and also Ben and Polly. Polly played by Annika Wills. Who's Ben?
Who we've all seen in the Michael Crace.
Thank you. Sadly, no longer with us. But
yeah, shame. Ben's unique.
Yeah, we saw them in the Macroterra. You're right. When we did that animation for one of our previous episodes.
Yeah, but this is an earlier story. This is actually the second Doctor story. Confusing, I know, but I really love that as they're landing wherever they're going. The setting of this episode, we have this little bit where everyone's like has an internal monologue about what they want to see. Ben's like, "Ooh, I hope we don't run into those Daleks again." And Jamie's just like, "What have I got into?" And the Doctor, his internal monologue, wondering where they land, he's just going, "Prehistoric monsters." He really wants to see.
You know what I kind of wish they had in that scene? Where, they go over Jamie, he's like, wow, I wonder what I've gotten myself into, and then they go over somebody else's just whistling silence.
just like a Simpsons gag, where it's just
a tumbleweed just rolls into the TARDIS, yeah.
Yeah.
Just nothing going on there.
Also, I have this in my notes, so I'm not cheating. We also have an appearance of the Doctor's hat.
Yeah.
Yay!
I believe it's on your bingo cards, kids. It's on mine, at least.
I've not got the bingo card up, so I'm concentrating on running. I'm concentrating on running the show. So
you can't win, Frez. You have no power here.
I think it's technically cheating and collusion if one of the hosts wins the bingo. So
well, I can still play for fun.
I'll have you know, sir, we are an ethical podcast here. No, we're bloody not.
So, we have landed on like a rocky beach somewhere near a dormant volcano, and everyone except the Doctor immediately goes to wander off and get into trouble, as you do in 60s Doctor Who, and the Doctor's just sort of chilling out, playing with rocks and shit. Studying it, it's like, this is probably... I don't know exactly what he says about it. I didn't write that part down, but it's science-y. It's like it comes from a volcano.
Yeah. He's trying to figure out where and when they are in space and time. But while that's all going on, our companions wander off, which is a bad idea.
I wonder what will happen. Nothing will get them into an incident.
I'll tell you what happens. Polly fucking climbs a cliff in a dress.
Yeah.
That's the least believable thing about this episode.
Mm.
Well, no.
She also, goes from 0 to kidnapped in all 5 minutes, but,
From 0 to kidnapped.
For you.
Which is the other thing. Polly, we've seen before what happens when you wear or find strange bracelets. Stop it.
That's Polly, the Doctor Who companion, not Polly, the lovely person in our chat who
I will say, I do have in my notes, Polly is busy doing the Socks cast, leave her be.
I mean, if Polly's a time traveler and came from the 1960s, we're all screwed. I'm just saying that right now.
Mm.
We are so screwed.
She goes back in time and gives prehistoric man the tire iron.
That was just one little mosquito. That can't change the future, can it? Can it?
But yeah, she goes investigating a cave, and some people grab her from behind, and it's like,
she basically breaks two golden rules of fantasy. Don't touch strange artifacts that you don't know what they are, and don't wander to dark caves alone. And unsurprisingly, she breaks these two rules and is kidnapped immediately.
And Jamie goes to try to find her. Oops, they're kidnapped too. In fact, everyone gets kidnapped pretty quickly.
Yeah, Ben and Jamie are ensnared in a net that we didn't see on the construction. It just says they're caught in a net.
Okay.
They're caught in a trap. They can't get out. We don't belong together with suspicious minds.
I don't think we see how the Doctor gets caught. I think they just throw him in after.
You don't see. He just gets thrown into the room with them.
Which, this isn't just a cell. It's an elevator. Or a lift, as they call it across the pond.
Well, it's not really lifting them, it's descending them.
Oh my God.
True. I was about to tell you to hit the rim shot.
Thank you, pun symbol woman.
Anyway, everyone passes out because there's some gas or something going on here. It's like... But we'll soon figure out what's going on. It's clearly like depressurization of some sort. Pressurization, actually.
It is, and
deep diving bullshit.
Basically, you know how when if you dive too far deep and you come up quickly, you get what's called the bends or diver sickness. Yeah. They're sort of getting the precursor to that, which is oxygen starvation, and they pass out.
Which Ben, once they come to,
he inflated 2 times his own size. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, that really can happen. It's nothing to scoff at.
Remember that part in License to Kill when Robert Davi kills the guy in the air pressure chamber? And his head fucking explodes?
Please don't. I still have nightmares about that.
Boss, what about the money?
Launder it. License to Kill is an underrated Bond film. I'm carrying on and ignoring that.
It is. And we'll be talking about Bond in a bit because of a thing. But yeah,
we will.
Ben,
yes, we will. We will. You're right. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know what I'm getting at.
A surprising guest star.
Ben, whose character background is he's a sailor in the Navy. He does have a line where he mentions that
I mean, he also is very, very Cockney. That is just Ben's character trait.
They are when they are. Polly knows.
Yeah. Like I say, Ben's overriding
a clue.
Overriding characteristic is that he's unbelievably Cockney in this story.
Oh, you want unbelievable accents? You just wait for until the next episode.
Oh yeah, I know, but.
But Polly's found a bracelet, and the bracelet is a prize from the 1970 Mexico Olympics.
Yeah, she manages to figure out that they must be the 68 Mexico Olympics. They were in 68. Mexico City. So she works out, we have to be in the 1970s at the earliest, because otherwise that memento would not exist. So Polly actually is quite savvy at parts of this episode, and I thought she was a scientist. No, she's a model.
She's model? I thought as far as I remember, she was just like a secretary in her debut story.
Well, in that case, TARDIS Wiki has lied to me yet again because it says she's a model.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember.
Wow, TARDIS Wiki lying to us about people and how they're not truly villainous?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, don't start with that again. Yeah, secretary model, personal assistant, and music manager. I wonder if that happened in the expanded universe stories.
Oh God, do we really? I don't know. I haven't poked at that stuff.
That's the problem with TARDIS Wiki. Well, it's not the only problem with TARDIS Wiki, but that's the main problem is they do rely very much on the expanded universe stuff as well. So much so that when I was researching this episode, I saw something that they talked about and thought it was in the episode, and it wasn't.
Oh wow!
It was in the novelization only, and I got fooled by that. But
right. So we got a guard who comes in.
You call him a guard, I call him a jerk.
All different languages. Doesn't do anything. Yes. Alan?
This poor serving girl, whose name is Ara, she'll become important later on.
Oh.
She's just minding her own business.
This part, yeah.
She's just minding her own business, and this guard is like a real jerk to her. But bless the Doctor's heart, he stops it from happening.
I have other questions about this scene, specifically about what they're eating. So we find out that, the Doctor sits down and he starts eating this stuff. He's like, oh, it's so good. It's so delicious.
Yummy.
Everybody else is wondering what the heck it is. Turns out it's plankton. That's not what I'm talking about, though. What I'm talking about is that there's just a big fucking severed head sitting right next to him.
What?
Yeah.
You guys didn't see it?
No, I saw the severed head.
There's a severed head.
I have not noticed the severed head. Jesus, what?
There's just a severed head on a platter, and it's like, what the hell?
Oh my god, that's
she is right. There is what appears to be a severed head.
That's fucked up.
It might be a goof because there's a pretty big goof.
To be a person?
There's a pretty big goof in part 2 that I'll talk about later.
Right.
But as far as I know, anyway, it's a severed head.
So we get some people coming in, and they're like, "Oh, it was prophesied that you would come here from above."
Yeah, we get a big fat priest whose name is Lolam.
Yep.
And he says, as you rightly said, "Oh, it was foretold you would come here." And like, "Oh, what are we here for here?" "Oh, you're here to be sacrificed." Uh-oh.
Womp, 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 womp.
We're two of a kind. We're about to be sacrificed, and I've got to be behind.
And there'll be sacrifices to the almighty goddess Amdo.
Yeah, that name is certainly a name.
Who is seen here in chat.
See here in chat.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Cat.
I can't believe you've done this. Since I totally can believe you've done this.
So everyone's going to be sacrificed.
I have a whole line of images set up and ready to use, and I'm going to fucking use them.
You got images and you're not afraid to use them?
Now that's preparation. So, so everyone's freaking out naturally about this, being ritualistically sacrificed for a goddess. But the doctor, he has a bit of a plan. He knows something's up from that plankton, and he's mentioning a professor named Zaroff.
Can we also talk about how Lolam the priest has murdered Flounder from the Little Mermaid and stuck him on the end of his staff?
Oh, Jesus!
Plus their hats.
Yeah,
their hats.
This is the Little Mermaid's darkest timeline.
Oh, wait, I can't. I shouldn't do too much of that. Disney might DMCA.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm just going to read. So obviously I said, is the head after I saw the severed head. And then I immediately said, I was taking a drink when those hats came on. What is that staff?
God.
Because holy crap, those things are ridiculous.
And the hats aren't attached to anything. They're just no, they are attached to someone. But you've got to see these hats to believe them.
Well, if you're watching after the live show, they'll probably be edited in. Oh wait, will they? I don't know.
Now you've said this, I have to put that in. Thanks, Jerry.
The live show. Oh. Well,
you've just made my job more difficult for me. Thanks.
What are you doing here?
Thanks, Obama.
Have I? You don't have to do it.
I'll make it a little bit easier on you. For those of you who are in the chat, this is from a later episode, but this is basically what they look like.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Thank you for that.
There you go.
I can't do anything about this, so...
Yeah, I'll get a Big Mac with those large fries.
I know that the doctor is supposed to be a lionfish. I'm pretty sure the priest is supposed to be like a sea anemone.
Yeah, there definitely is a lionfish.
One could argue that his staff is probably a clownfish.
So,
oh no, they got Nemo as well? Oh no!
So, I love the name of this file. .jpeg.
Yes. I mean, if we're talking JPEG file names, the one I used to start this podcast was Oops, All Doctors.
So the doctor knows that Professor Zaroff is down here, wherever here is, we don't know just yet. But he knows it because of that plankton that he ate. And so he enlists Ara, the serving girl from earlier, to help send a note to the professor.
Yes.
Which will be handy because we're about to ritualistically sacrifice.
They're about to be sacrificed, and they've got a big behind, yeah.
To sharks! To sharks! So that's bad. They're strapped on these tables, and they're trying to tilt the tables down so they get dunked into a shark tank and get eaten, so they can appease the great god Zamdo. And in the meantime, Ara gets her note, Professor Zaroff, and we got to talk about the note because one of those things that will get the continuity hounds on say TARDIS Wiki up in a big froth.
Oh, please do not release the continuity hounds.
Oh, well, too late, because the note says, the note says, a vital secret will die with me, and it's signed Dr. W.
Was this something left on the cutting room floor?
I don't know. Listen, they didn't give a fuck about the Doctor's name back in the 60s, Is his name Doctor Who?
Oh, God, yes, of course, Dr. W.
Just remember it means Dr. W, say the Sigma.
Sorry, I've tried to sort of memory hole that, and it didn't work.
Doctor Who,
kind
yeah.
Of funny, everybody always asks Doctor Who. They never ask Dr. How.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes, I know. Doctor Who is required, I know.
Oh, yeah, Doctor Who is required. That's another thing we haven't gotten into.
And we're not going to. So, Professor Zaroff...
I mean, we might if we ever do that story.
I don't believe... Yeah, that's true. I don't believe he showed up before this.
Oh, he totally has not.
Okay. I was just wondering, because it seems that the Doctor has encountered him before. Was it ever actually established why he knows how he knows it's Zaroff, and then says, I want to speak to Professor Zaroff? Because he's not actually mentioned until the Doctor mentions him.
He probably... I don't know how he...
Yeah.
There's a good expanded universe story for you. How the Doctor knew that, but... Yeah.
Anyway, I do not want to get into that can of worms. Thank you very much. Anyway...
So, Zaroff, realizing, oh shit, what's the vital secret? He goes and stops the sacrifice and saves the Doctor so that he can get the vital secret out of him. And the Doctor... So his bluff got him released for now. Which is interesting.
He also managed to save the lives of his friends because he says, I will not give you the information until I know they're safe. So they relent and they stop the sacrifice.
So, yeah, that's fine.
They were just about to be fed to the sharks.
So instead, the men get sent down to the mines, and Polly is going to, we'll get to what they plan to do to Polly.
It's weird, isn't it? The last time we covered this exact team of TARDIS travelers, they also got sent to the mines.
That is weird. You're right.
In the Macroterra. Did they always get sent to the damn mines?
No, I think this is just a huge coincidence.
Okay, I'll buy it.
So Zaroff is established as a scientific genius who vanished about 20 years ago, presumably down here, and we still don't know where here is. And there's a funny scene. I just wrote down giggling laughter. How fun! Where it's just Professor Zaroff and the Doctor just just laughing. Yeah. So should we mention the Bond connection thing that I meant? I'm
not sure where you're going with this, so please do mention the Bond connection.
It's easy. Oh, the actor who played Professor Zaroff, his name's Joseph First, was in a Bond movie.
Oh, The Spy Who Loved Me!
No, not Spy Who Loved Me. Diamonds Are Forever.
Oh, yeah! So they look quite similar. I thought it was either Dr. Bettman or Professor Markovitz, and I call myself a Bond fan.
Yeah.
Hang my head in shape. Yes, you're right. The professor in Diamonds Forever. Of course it's him. Yeah.
Yeah, he works on lasers or something, and Blofeld in the movie takes his lasers and makes like a diamond laser Death Star in space or something.
Listen. I have tried for years to forget that Diamonds Are Forever ever existed because of Blofeld, played by Charles Gray, in drag.
How did I know that was exactly what you were going to mention?
So let me get this straight. Zaroff's actor played a guy who works exclusively with lasers, and now he's in an episode of a TV show where they have sharks, and they do not have frickin' sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their frickin' head.
I almost referenced that earlier, and now I'm glad that I didn't.
I am so disappointed in everybody.
So
this came before Diamonds Are Forever. This was 1960.
This is 67, I want to say?
Yeah, it's a few years before Diamonds Are Forever. This
late,
came first.
It might be late 66, early 67,
All I'm hearing
somewhere around.
are excuses.
Diamonds was 1971.
I want to skip ahead a little. I want to skip ahead a little bit to talk about Zaroff and the Doctor, just to finish off episode 1, and the fact that the Doctor finally realizes where they are. They're in the lost kingdom of Atlantis, and Zaroff has promised to lift Atlantis from the sea. Now he's promised that. What his plan is well, we're gonna get to that. But why don't we talk about fish people instead?
Yeah, I know you're dying to talk about these things because.
So Zaroff has an Atlantean cohort named Damon, who has really bushy eyebrows, and he's taking charge of Polly during all this. And he shows her their fish people, who are, well, fish people who harvest all the plankton for Professor Zaroff and all the food for Atlantis. They work there. And Polly's like, oh, that's pretty impressive. Damon is just like, oh, well, it's good that you're impressed by that. Most people don't take kindly to knowing that they're going to have the operation done. What operation? Oh, you're going to be one of them. And Polly gets the excellent line, you're not turning me into a fish.
Again, though, Polly again seems to show interest in the scientific procedure, because, and this is why I thought she was a scientist, but no, she is a secretary. I don't mind it, because it gives an asset to a facet to her character. Oh, God, Cat.
I was waiting for you to notice.
And the chat just noticed.
I told you, I have so many of these images, and they're going to get used.
I suddenly regret not saying you should have streamed it, then you wouldn't have been able to do it.
Oh no, it would have been a lot easier to do.
Oh yes, it would. Oh, of course, because you actually got Twitch Studio to work for you.
Yes. Also, no, we're not just killing time until Fred comes back because
we're just waiting for him to return. I'm just gonna take in this SpongeBob heart surgery picture a few more seconds.
It's beautiful.
And we're back.
So,
okay.
So yeah, you were talking about Polly scientists, fish stuff, and indeed, the episode 1 cliffhanger is they're gonna jab her with a needle. One tiny jab, and you won't know a thing about it till it's all over.
Yeah, we also get the reveal, of course, that.
By the way, if someone does get bingo, just take a picture of it, and send that to us at goexterminateyourself@gmail.com.
I can't see these sheets, so I'll have to take your word for it, Mike, that you're 2 away from bingo.
That's why I said they should take a screenshot of it and send it to
us. I should probably check off groan-worthy pun, everyone groans.
That happened a while ago.
So far, we of course have the mirrors free space. We have the Doctor wearing a hat. Press will be right back. Soundboard. Bye back to the 11th hour.
I will be right back.
Fangirls over fish people.
Oh, I did fangirl over the fish people.
That's right. You did include the fish people as a square. I remember now.
Yes.
So, episode 2.
Well, hang on. Before we get to that, have we actually mentioned the fact that we're in Atlantis and what Zaroff's going to do with Atlantis?
Not yet. We're gonna get to that.
All right. We'll take that onto episode 1. But as you say, the cliffhanger to Inconvenient Weekly Installment number 1 is that Polly is on the operating table.
Inconvenient Weekly.
Did you not see that tweet?
I did. I just wasn't expecting you to say that. Yeah, so for context, this was a tweet talking about the Disney Plus WandaVision show.
Yeah, which is really good, by the way. Watch it if you can.
Which is, it's because they're releasing it weekly, like they used to do with TV. And someone called it inconvenient weekly installments.
And I just filed that away, thinking I'm going to definitely use that when I get the chance.
So, episode 2, then we'll get to Zaroff's plan in episode 2 proper, and how unique it is.
Well, at the end of I'm not going to say the weekly installment thing again, but at the end of the first part, the Doctor sent Ara to try and find Polly and get her out if she could.
So, we get to mention that the Atlanteans survived thanks to air pockets and caves inside this volcano when their city sank underwater or whatever. And so they're all fiddling around. The Doctor's in Zaroff's lab, and he's playing around with the power a bit, just while Zaroff isn't looking, just to mess with the lights in the operation room, and that makes Damon go, "Oh, for God's sakes, I'm gonna go complain to Zaroff about this."
And when he gets there, he finds the 1999 Denver Broncos screwing the lights.
No. So, he arrives and he's like, "I need power to operate on the girl." And Zaroff goes to his big power board and he's like, "Look, listen, I'm not siphoning the goddamn thing. You got plenty of power here. Look at it." And he's got his big power board illuminated. And the Doctor wanders up, unplugs it.
Yeah.
Butterfingers.
It's great. He goes, "Oh, I seem to have been terribly clumsy," or worse to that effect.
And Damon's just like, "You're still not. This isn't going to save the girl, And he storms off. And while the lights are off, everyone leaves to get power lights or whatever. And Ara comes on in and says, "Oh, hello.
Hello there, Sean. You made it."
Hi, Sean. Hello. We're talking about fish people."
Yes.
Or rather, Polly narrowly avoiding becoming one as Ara gets her out of the operation room and takes her.
So Polly has got away with the help of Ara. Now can I talk about Zaroff's plan?
Oh, yes, you can. Go.
Okay, so Zaroff is an interesting character because the Doctor knows him from a previous adventure we haven't seen yet.
Or just from, general knowledge. Who knows?
Yes. And it turns out he was... Well, I think he was from East Germany. Because they talk about him faking his death, and the East and the West didn't know where he got to.
Okay.
Where he got to was Atlantis, which is the setting for this particular story. Do not mention that episode.
Anyway.
We're allowed to mention Toby Whithouse again because Whithouse made fun of Lie of the Land, which he wrote, so it's cool to talk about him again. He's all right.
Wait, he made fun of that?
Yeah, he said, "Great to see that Lie of the Land got a presidential pardon."
All right, I'll give him that.
I can admire that sort of taking the piss out of yourself.
I'll give him that. Okay, I'll let him have that. I'll let him have that.
He's certainly better than a certain other writer we're not going to mention at all.
Now that Mike says it, this whole idea of the power running out to specific areas does kind of remind me of something, but I can't think of what it is just yet.
And here comes the link. Here it comes.
Oh God, here we go again.
No, I'm sure I'll figure it out later. I just don't know what it is quite yet.
Anyway, at some point, Zaroff fled to Atlantis. He ingratiated himself with the people there. He gave them technology that was beyond their primitive means. That's a bit like a town called Mercy.
Yeah.
Where Carla Jax?
Tattoo guy.
Yeah, him. He basically gave them lighting that was way beyond their means. No, we can mention Christian. I see you're just trying to get the bingo, Mike, you sneaky bitch.
You brainiac, I didn't say it. We can link it. I'm hitting the button. Chris Chibnall's dunked on.
No, Chris Chibnall.
No, we haven't dunked on it. Mentioning him is not a dunk. It's not a dunk.
All right, I'll unclick the bingo.
Krista's $10 is safe. Is all I'm going to say.
All we have so far is the Doctor wears a hat, the free space.
And by the way, fuck that guy and fuck referring to him in person because he doesn't deserve that.
And
Krista gets $10.
Yeah, Krista gets her $10 back because we're not going to. I'm not going to mention that person by name. They're not worth it.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on.
Please.
Yeah, talk about Zaroff's plan.
Zaroff's plan. So he is going to repay the Atlanteans by lifting Atlantis out of the ocean.
Cool.
How's he going to do this? By destroying the Earth.
Oh. Well, you're skipping a couple of steps here. He's going to drain the ocean and thus lower the sea level so that Atlantis technically is above water and has risen from the sea. Of course, the Doctor points out that doing this, drilling a hole into the Earth's core to drain all the water.
Hang on. So you're saying that they're going to drill a hole into the Earth's crust?
Oh, God, here we go.
You know, that sounds familiar again. And coupling it with the power issues and the Doctor running around the laboratory and messing with things. Oh, this just reminds me of something. Frez, what does this remind me of?
I don't know.
I know what it reminds me of. It reminds him of the Wedding of River Song, which is better than that other episode.
That must be it. That has to be it. I mean, it's not like there's an inferno coming or anything like that.
Cat, you're on fire.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, the Doctor points out that, drilling a goddamn hole in the Earth's crust and draining the water in it will turn the water into steam and crack the goddamn planet in half like an egg. So this leads the Doctor to ask very calmly of Zaroff, just one small question. Why do you want to blow up the world? For the achievement, my dear Doctor!
Yeah,
the destruction of the world. The scientist's dream of supreme power.
I'm sorry, I'm just... also, good impersonation. I'm just distracted by that gif that Cat is...
What have we linked here?
It's very accurate. But yeah, this is just like the typical bad guy plot of, I want to destroy the world. Well, why do you want to do that? Because I fucking can.
It's not world domination, though, which is a bit different.
He just legitimately thinks blowing up the fucking world would be his greatest and final accomplishment, and is determined to do that.
Which he's technically right, but there'll be no one there to actually tell him it's a great accomplishment, because they'll all be dead when the Earth is destroyed.
Well, there are two things that this reminds me of. One of them is, spoiler for Final Fantasy VII. The only reason I'm talking about it is because they're coming out with a bunch of bullshit. So if you have not finished Final Fantasy VII, cover your ears. So we have Dr. Hojo, and his entire thing is that he wants to have Genova basically crack the world and then take it out into the stars in order to devour more worlds. But of course, he's on the Earth, so he's going to die. And that's what that reminds me of. The second thing that this reminds me of is there is a panel from a Spider-Man comic where Spider-Man is talking to a giant talking pterodactyl who used to be a doctor, and Spider-Man's like, you could have cured cancer, you could have changed the world. Why aren't you doing that? And the doctor is like, I want to change people into dinosaurs, not cure cancer.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is such like both an overused trope, but also underused, because nobody just wants to destroy the world just because. And I kind of like that.
That's scientist. Is that Kurt Connors, aka Elizabeth, by any chance?
No, it was a different doctor. He just wanted to turn people into dinosaurs.
Oh no, because Kurt Connors is actually somewhat benevolent.
Yeah,
somewhat.
Depending on where it is.
He is in the animation anyway. He's not in Into the Dark, which...
Into the...
Just Into the Dark. Just that's all I have to say.
You mean Turn Off the Dark?
Oh, did I say Into the Dark? Sorry, yes. Yeah. I'm thinking I've combined Into the Spider-Verse and Turn Off the Dark. Turn Off the Dark is the right...
If nobody has seen the clip of the song from Turn Off the Dark, you need to.
All I will say is, a freak like me needs company, and that's all you have to Google.
Seriously.
The Absorbaloff's musical adept cousin.
Patrick Page is having a blast, and that's all I care about.
There's a man made out of bees.
Yeah, well, we're not...
So, to the episode again, I guess. After all this nonsense about, I want to blow up the world, we go to Ben and Jamie in the mines and then meet some other supporting characters. Say hello to Sean and Jacko.
Oh, speaking of Sean, he found the link.
Oh, yeah. Turn off the dark.
I'm going to assume that's the David Letterman performance.
Yes, that's the Letterman show. Yeah. All y'all just open that in the tab and wait till we're done. Just
yeah. Please don't watch that right now. We're still talking.
Live. Watch us, obviously, but just save that little treat for later.
Yeah. But yeah, so while Zaroff is scheming, revealing his scheme to the Doctor, as you say, Jamie and Ben are down in the mines, and they're introduced to two side characters called Sean and Jacko.
And Sean is just... So I swear the screenwriter just wrote the word Irish in 80-point font.
Yeah, I mean, they did that with Ben with the word Cockney, and this is just Irish.
He is just so Irish.
Jacko, I'm not quite sure about Jacko's nationality. He is a person of colour, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's not really established who these two people are, other than the fact that they are miners.
Well, I think it's established in another line where they mentioned how they got their fish people. Because they said Atlantis picks up survivors from shipwrecks who would have died anyway, saves them, and then turns them into fish people.
Oh God! Please don't remind me of that two-part finale.
Actually, it's even worse than that, because if I remember correctly, it's mostly women that get turned into fish people, and then the men get sent into the mines.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess that's true. Okay.
So they're sexist as well.
Yeah.
There are female fish people because we do see them later on, but with the case of Ben, Jamie, and Polly, Damon thought that Ben and Jamie were strong, and therefore they would be suitable for the mines. I want
to read what Mike says here. What's literally terrifying is that the plant fraction would not kill us. What would happen afterwards? Our atmosphere was there. Zaroff would effectively turn the Earth into an orphan planet. Oh, so like Orphan 55.
Mike,
right,
I will reach through the screen. I will reach through the screen and throttle you where you stand.
You're allowed to take the box that says the chat tells us something we know.
Okay.
I hope there isn't a box that says host threatens to murder someone in the chat, because otherwise you can take that as well.
There's one that says Rain is done with us all, so that's pretty close.
No, I'm not done with you all. Just Mike.
Hey, can we technically check off oops, we did it again for the mining thing?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Do you remember how we... Actually, yeah, I don't want to be savaged by a wolf, so Mike's okay. We're cool.
See, if I could win, all I would have to do is... and this doesn't count, by the way, for all of you at home. All I would have to do is reference... I'll say it like this. All I would have to do is talk about the character Jenna Coleman played, and I would have a bingo.
Yeah, but that doesn't count, because we said we would not influence the bingo card, and you've broken that 3 times already. Please stop doing that.
I'm just pointing out what we already hit. Okay, so...
But back to the miners. Sean and Jacko want to escape, which is not a bad idea, because this place is terrible.
Ben and Jamie also want to.
They have something that the foreman, the mining foreman, immediately is suspicious of, so he gets a guard to search them. And Sean immediately throws the object to Jamie, who doesn't know what it is, but he just squirrels it away. They don't get searched. Sean and Jacko do. They don't find anything. It turns out this illegal contraband is a compass.
Yes, a compass, which they proceed to not use at all during the rest of the episode or ever again.
I literally don't know why this is here.
I do love... I've wrote this down, that once everyone's back at the lab, once everyone's complaining about Polly having gotten away, the doctor just says, "Oh my, how very frustrating for you."
Yeah.
Also, thinking about it, these guys are like miles and miles below sea level, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wouldn't then the compass would show something different because the magnetic poles are technically at different locations to it now?
I don't know enough science to know if that's true, if that will work or not. Like that.
Neither do I, because if you're on top of the, if you're above sea level, then obviously you're on a curve. But I'm wondering if they're below sea level, are they more flat?
Yeah.
This is not a call for the flat earthers to come in. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, God almighty. No,
Shut up.
no.
The last thing we need is AJ Styles in
I
here.
don't know enough about science.
Oh, crap. Wait, who's that?
AJ Styles.
I don't know who that is.
He's a wrestler.
I see.
Take off the box. We're ready.
I was going to say, that's got to be in the bingo card.
I literally didn't know who that was.
Well, I will say this, and I apologize in advance, but this is a direct quote from him. The gay community...
Oh.
Yeah, that will make sense to people who know AJ Styles is.
Let's just stop right there.
Yeah.
Huh? And instead, let's talk about Dr. Audi. Because the way the Doctor escapes the lab just cracks me up. He's just like, oh, wow, Zaroff's a pretty good scientist. I know a bit of science myself. He's got this test tube in his hand, just full of some stuff. And he's just like, oh, like this, for instance. And he pours the shit out, and it smokes up, and everyone's coughing, and the Doctor runs the fuck away.
That. I love that so much. Troughton is great in this entire story because he's just the biggest mischievous troll they've got going.
Troughton is just great in general.
Oh, he's so good.
The companions play it pretty straight for the most part, but Troughton is just having a blast, just misbehaving.
So most of the B plot of this episode is, like we said, Ben, Jamie, Sean, and Jacko are attempting to escape the mines. So we can probably skim over a lot of that. Just we'll mention where they come out and get away from. Polly, Aura leaves her by the Amdo goddess mouth temple thing.
Next to Olmec, yes.
Next to Olmec, yes. So she's there for a while. So just focusing on the Doctor again for a bit. He escapes and he hears Ramo talking to Damon about some shit. And he's met up with Aura, and now he wants to meet the head of Atlantis and warn him about Zaroff, even though he'll probably get handed over to Zaroff again and killed or sacrificed or whatever the fuck. But once Damon goes out, he knows that Ramo doesn't trust Zaroff, so he appeals to Ramo. And at first Ramo was like, I should sacrifice you right now, but the Doctor manages to appeal to Ramo and tell him that Zaroff is a baddie. And they go to the Amdo Temple, and he gives a little scientific demonstration of what Zaroff will do.
Can we talk about the really funny goof? There's a really funny goof in the scene where the Doctor first meets Ramo. So, remember that at this point, the Doctor has escaped, so he's on the run, and Damon has sent the guards to go after him and find him and bring him back.
Yeah.
Well, when the Doctor is talking to Ramo discreetly, there was an extra standing 2 meters behind the Doctor. And the extra is the guard.
Oops.
So that's a pretty hilarious goof.
Yeah, the Doctor does a little scientific demonstration using a clay pot, some water, and a candle or a burner or something. Anyway, it's just
a Bunsen burner.
Bunsen burner, but I don't know why a religious temple Nando would have that, but either way.
In order to heat up I'm trying to think what it's called, but have you ever seen a wax burner?
Okay.
Basically, you have a little dish, you put wax in the dish, you put that on top of either a flame or some sort of heat source. As the wax melts, it lets out scents.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking that's for
he's using the flame as a Bunsen burner.
Right, so it's basically just a demonstration. This pot's the earth, Zaroff's going to drain all the water down here, but the steam builds up and can't escape, and so the pot explodes. That's what's going to happen. Oh, you're waiting for the line. Oh, yeah. We're an episode away from the line, but yeah. So he demonstrates that Ramo believes him, and they, as Kat linked that wonderful thing, Ramo gives him a priest disguise, and that leads to a wonderful image of neat lionfish and sea anemone.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the Doctor even asks Ramo, how do I look? And Ramo's just like, what?
Also,
never mind.
Also, we got to mention it. I have it in my notes, so I'm being honest here. In the scene, as he's waiting, the Doctor plays his recorder.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Plays his flute.
Check it off, kids. Gratuitous flute.
Please tell me you put recorder and not flute. We had that conversation last time.
Please tell me what?
I put gratuitous flute.
Oh, all right. The pedant in me is screaming right now. But
Also, we literally said at the beginning of this we weren't going to guide it. So, Frez, how dare you?
Hey!
Even if it's in your notes.
If I had it in my notes beforehand, it's fair game.
Well, to be fair, I had it in my notes as well.
what kind of a rule is that?
Hey, if you have it in your notes, it's fair game too.
Well, technically, I have it twice in my notes because I believe in episode 3 they do the flute again.
Oh, yeah,
I missed the recorder completely, so it's not in my notes, so I can't do it.
Right. So, summarizing basically the B plot here real quick. It's basically just wandering through caves. Oh no, Jamie fell, pull him back up. Oh, but they end up coming out on the side of the Amdo temple, and they meet up with Polly.
Yeah. And we should also mention that the two miners, Sean and Jacko, they've managed to escape at this point and have taken Ben and Jamie with them because they use the distraction that the former is selecting workers to go to a particular part of the mine. And when Jamie tries to volunteer, or Ben tries to volunteer, he says, no, you're too new.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this isn't elaborated upon, but it does provide a handy distraction when Jamie trips the hell out of the foreman.
Whoops.
And that allows Jacko and Sean to sneak away and escape. The other miners know what they're doing, and they obviously cover for them. And Jamie and Ben thank them, and then they head out after them as well. So shame they couldn't take the rest of the miners with them, but I suppose if too many of them escaped, it would be really obvious.
Yeah.
They're not going to miss 4 warm bodies, they would miss 40.
Yeah. And I will say that Jacko and Sean's more of the amical one. Jacko is very much, why are we letting these people help us? You know, they might tell on us and stuff like that. There's one point where I believe Fred said that Jamie gets in trouble. And Ben is like leaning over trying to grab him. Ben nearly falls over, and Jacko comes and saves him. So it's like, that's a good bit of character development.
Yeah, Jacko's more of the action man of the two. Sean's more of the talker.
Because, I mean, at any point, they could have just said, hey, we're going to go this way, you guys go that way, and they just left them in the dust. But they didn't.
Yeah.
So good on you guys. Doesn't help the ending of this series of episodes, but...
No, not at all. Oh, boy.
Well, we'll get to that. But speaking of the ending of this episode, we have the Doctor and Ramo meeting with the King of Atlantis, Zeus.
Faust.
Zeus, yeah, whatever, something like that. Zeus. And they basically tell him that Professor Zaroff is mad as a hatter. And
yeah.
You can see it in his eyes.
They mentioned something about Zaroff's eyes, and I thought, right, does that mean something's happening? No, they just mean that you can see the unhingedness, the madness in the man's eyes. They say that, a man's eyes are the gateway to his soul.
And, they're basically imploring him. He's totally going to blow up Atlantis. You can't trust him, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Zeus...
Yeah, Faust
is like, all right, leave. I'm going to make my decision. And
he comes back and he says, "Here's my answer." And Zaroff walks in and he says, "Do with these people what you will."
Yeah, he also overacts the hell out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Here is your answer.
Yeah.
From the Shatner School of Acting.
So.
And then weird part is that in episode 3, it starts off with Zaroff entering the temple again, but it's completely like reshot.
They would do this quite a few times. They would do this quite a few times in Classic Who.
Yeah, like end of episode 3 and start of episode 4 are also completely different deliveries.
Very strange.
I guess they just did it like that. They didn't reuse the footage. They reshot it. I don't know. Probably some sort of rights issue. But on to episode 3, which thankfully also exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Doctor and Ramo are going to be sacrificed to Amdo again. And we get a wonderful scene where Zaroff is ranting with his project, and the king is just looking in his eyes, and Zaroff's like, "What are you looking at?" Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
No, because at that point he realizes, oh shit. I done fucked up.
Yeah, maybe the doctor had a point.
He is fucking good. And I have in my notes, and Kat, I actually, hang on. I can go on my. I don't need you to link this. I gave you the link. I can link this myself.
Please do.
Where is he?
Because while you do that, I will mention that there's a neat little bit here where Zaroff is deciding what to do with the two prisoners. He decides that he's going to hand them back to the priest to continue the execution, and he's going to throw Ramo into the mix for the hell of it.
Who you mean? You mean the priest guard guy, right?
Yes. Behold, I wrote in my notes, the best royal guard. Look at him.
What have you done?
I don't know if that link will work. Oh, no,
what have you done? Yes.
But yes, that's apparently the executioner.
Oh yeah, that's the executioner. Look at him. Look at him.
He is the executioner, yes. He's not a very good executioner because he doesn't have a block to put on the gallows.
Amdo doesn't mind a bit of mess.
Hang on a second. I have a picture of him from a different angle so you can see the full extent of his costume.
Oh no.
Oh god. What have you got?
Hang on.
If this is just Polonius from Shrek.
Polonius from Shrek.
Polonius? Oh, that dude. There you go.
God damn it. I knew it was
No, I prefer my answer, but...
Yeah. So, anyway, they're going to get sacrificed, not by shark this time, just by bean beans.
No, they're going to be beheaded and then fed to what remains fed to the sharks. And the doctor is trying to save Ramo here. He says, leave him alone. He had nothing to do with this. I coerced him into helping. And Ramo's like, no, I've been suspicious from the beginning, Zaroff. I don't fear death. Bring it on.
Damn, that was ballsy. Doing that. And, well, so they're about to be beheaded by the royal guard bearer of the sacred seashell of Amdo. When all of a sudden, Amdo starts talking. Ooh.
Yeah.
It has a very distinctive sounding scream, too. Almost feminine.
This isn't problematic at all. Tricking natives into dropping over the fences by pretending to be their god.
It's very Road to El Dorado, isn't it?
It's very the Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, so it's just, ooh, I'm the voice of Amdo. Lower your eyes in my divine presence while I accept these sacrifices. So everyone bows their heads down in fear of the divine wrath of Amdo. And the doctor, pulls Ramo up, and out of the side of the temple is Ben, ushering them in silently, and they escape. And then everyone opens their eyes and it's like, oh my god, it's a miracle! Amdo accepted the sacrifice. Is this better or worse than the Aztecs?
That's a good question, Sean.
Good question.
It's better than the Aztecs because the Aztecs was meant as an educational show, and educational shows, by definition, are awful.
And also, the Aztecs is kind of
Sesame
about...
Street. Sesame
the Aztecs
Street
is kind of about,
No, Mike, it's not that bad.
It's like the Aztecs meets the Lie of the Land. No, it's not nearly that bad. No, God, no.
And I said he gets a pass now because he poked fun at himself.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to give that episode a pass, but I'm going to be like...
Not the episode, the writer. The writer admits it's bad.
I'll give him that one for now. He's still on thin ice, but I'll give him one bit of credit.
No, Thin Ice was written by Sarah Dollard.
And also, we got to see racist be punched, so...
Kat, I think you have something on your soundboard to reference that Thin Ice pun.
Do I?
Yeah.
Do you?
It was a bad pun. Close enough. I mean, that fits.
You're talking about...
Yeah, because that fits because we're talking about ritual sacrifices. But I will say that the presentation of the Atlanteans is very much like the Aztecs or the Incas.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
To be fair, depending on exactly how the bracelet got there, it was from the Mexican Olympics. So it could be theorized that they are close by Mexico.
Yeah, I forgot all about that bit. Well done.
That's true. Who knows?
Yeah,
so
could be.
We could theorize that they're from like South America or Mexico or something like that.
But anyway, surprising absolutely nobody. The voice of Amdo is actually the voice of Polly.
Yeah, there's a whole damn PA system inside the Amdo head, which... Did Zaroff set that up? Like, what?
Yeah, he did. But I'm sure this has got...
Is it okay?
I'm sure this has got connotations with another historical story where there was an idol that the priest would speak through. I think it may be Greek mythology, and I think it may be apocryphal, but I think they had like an idol of a god's head set up, and the god would like speak, but it was a priest with like a sound system, like a microphone, to amplify their voice. That might be fictitious, but I do vaguely remember that.
Anyway, so Lolam goes to tell Zaroff and Thos the great news that Amdo accepted the sacrifice and everyone vanished, and Zaroff is just like, wait, what? That's made up bullshit. Did they get away? You better hope not. They better hope they didn't get away.
Yeah, and Faust and Lolam do not like his blasphemy. Do not blaspheme!
Meanwhile, in the head of Amdo, everyone's making a plan to attack Zaroff. A two-pronged plan, which will have amazing ramifications in the story. So, the Doctor, Ben, Jamie, and Polly are going to work together to kidnap Professor Zaroff to stop him from blowing up the world. And to help distract that... One moment. And to help distract that... Sean and Jacko are going to get the fish people to go on strike.
As soon as I saw this bit, I realised why this is one of your favourite episodes. Fish people and leftist politics. You love to see it.
Oh, we're going to get to the fish people strike.
Yeah, not too far from now. Oh God, what have you done? I can't see that, so can you just paraphrase what the hell that is?
It's Squidward holding up a sign that says Krusty Krab unfair. Squidward on strike.
Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.
So, so what's really going to screw everyone over with this fish people strike is that the fish people harvest Zaroff's magic plankton, but Zaroff's plankton can't be stored. It goes putrid in just hours. So they're having the fish people constantly harvest this shit, and they're eating it practically fresh out of the water. So if the fish people stop providing it, there's no food supply for Atlantis. All hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the strike, but the first plan enacted
this is amazing.
Of Professor Zaroff. And we enter the lovely scene setting of the Atlantean market.
I love this. These costumes that these Atlantean extras have been forced to wear are so 1960s it hurts.
Oh God, it's just nets with seashells and shit glued
Pretty
on
much.
them.
The girls are wearing seashells like Ara, and actually now Polly is dressed like Ara is, almost exactly.
Yeah.
To the point that I didn't recognise her at first. You've got Ben and Jamie are in wetsuits as guards, but the best disguise belongs to the Doctor.
Doctor's, like, I don't even know how to describe it.
I do. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man.
Oh, my God. With, like, a bandana and sunglasses?
He's a street musician, but he's a street musician with apparently an eye defect because he's wearing dark glasses.
It's beautiful.
A bandana. He looks amazing.
There's a wonderful bit where the guards almost find Polly, and Polly like hides under a carpet that some lady's selling, and the guards come in and I was sitting on this carpet, and the Polly's under, so they don't poke at it. And they start poking at it with a trident, and the market lady's just like, hey, how the hell am I supposed to sell my rugs if you keep poking holes in them?
That market lady's name is Nola, and she is a friend of ours, but we don't really know that much about her.
Anyway, Zaroff shows up, and we do a little run around. Zaroff, here I am. Woo! Doctor running around like an idiot to get Zaroff to chase him.
Yeah.
And so they lead him into the temple area, and the doctor's just like, "Hi, Zaroff," when he catches up, and he blows like gas out of his recorder to stun Zaroff.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So they basically have succeeded. They have kidnapped Zaroff.
That's the first part of the plan. That went very well. The second part of the plan, all I can say is oof.
Oof! What do you mean oof? This is
not that
is majestic.
Bit. The bit to get to that bit. What Sean does.
This bit is wild.
Yeah, Sean's method for getting the fish people to rebel is to insult them constantly.
Goldfish from what does he say?
I don't want to repeat it.
A guppy from Galway has bigger guts than you. Lot.
Yes. And again, this is slightly problematic because you've got primitives being lectured at, like their brains are too small to comprehend all this.
I wouldn't say their brains are too small to comprehend.
No, that's the impression that you get. I'm not saying they are small-brained. Sean is giving the impression that he thinks they're small-brained. Now, this is all, of course, a ploy by Sean. He doesn't really believe this about them.
He's just riling them up for revolution!
But still, it was a bit awkward to watch.
The worst part about what Sean is doing is the fact that these are just normal people who
turned into fucking fish.
Yeah, they had surgery on them.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we know about the plastic gills, but we don't know what else may have been done to them. For all we know,
they are completely innocent.
Their own thing.
Yeah, they're literal slaves, basically.
They are slaves to Zaroff and his schemes. They have got absolutely no free will in this whatsoever. But they start pelting Sean with shells, I think, and bits of plankton.
I think we can pretty much explain this away as Sean is offensively Irish.
I mean, he's only being offensive for a cause.
But he does, point out to the fish people that you supply all the plankton to Atlantis. They can't store it. If you idiots just don't give them any food, then you'll fuck their day up and get back at them.
Yeah.
And so he inspires them to revolt, and we get the fish people strike.
Yeah, and I can only describe what's about to unfurl here with 2 words.
Krusty Krab is unfair. Mr. Krabs isn't there.
That's 4 words.
What are your words, Rennie?
Underwater ballet.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Like, okay. I said back when we did the web. Back when you remember when you picked the web planet, and I lost my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
And I said you pick something more gonzo than Underwater Menace. Like I will stand by that. The cat agreed with me. I think Web Planet is more gonzo than Underwater Menace. But that being said, this is just like this is gonzo. This is peak gonzo. It's beautiful. You just got these fish people on wires, and in DVD quality, you can see the goddamn wires.
This is more gonzo than the Muppets.
They're just, and you got the soundtrack, the synth soundtrack.
Yeah, the song is really weird and eerie, but it actually fits.
And you've got these poor fish people extras just like on wires, and they're swimming around. They're going, oh, and they're just swimming around. It's so good.
And this whole bit takes about 2 minutes.
I'm so glad this still exists.
Yeah, I'm glad that this part still exists.
Animated would be even wilder. Imagine the embellishment they did, like how they made giant crabs with macro terror.
Yeah, I bet they could do a really good job with the animation for this entire story, which is why, again, I'm sad they didn't get to release that.
And again, may I remind you all that this absolute gonzo imagery is fish people basically unionizing and going on strike. This is also political as fuck, and yeah, you can check off your Doctor Who gets political card.
And it's also timely because at the time of this going out, this live stream going out, Greenpeace are currently throwing boulders into the ocean to stop fishermen from trawling the bottom of the seabed.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you got it. We have a winner.
All right, you gotta take a screenshot and you gotta send it to goexterminateyourself@gmail.com.
I did it.
First come, first serve, so you have to get it in fast.
There you go.
Yeah, because Sean is right on your heels, so that's impressive. Because Sean got in here about half an hour after the thing started.
Get it in now. Take a screenshot. Put that screenshot in an email. Send it to goexterminateyourself@gmail.com. Spelled exactly like that.
There you go.
It's a foot race. Who can get there first?
Yep. Whoever gets there first will get all the clout. The other person is a big whiny baby head.
Well.
No, they're not.
Moving on from
big whiny baby head.
Now the Web Planet may be more gonzo. The Web Planet is just this all the time, basically. But this is basically the reason why this became a meme for 6 years. This scene right here.
Yeah.
Is and it's also the reason why this is like one of the top 20 worst stories in that Doctor Who poll. Like people look at this and go, "What the fuck?
Are you kidding me?" Look. I get that maybe this
that's probably why. I don't know why.
I get this didn't need to be 2 minutes long. It probably didn't need to be 2 minutes long. But it is just... I don't want to say it's beautiful, but no, I will. It's just majestic. And yes, it's the 1960s, and yes, okay, that wasn't up to much, but for what they've got to work with here, it really sets the scene of what these fish people are, what they believe in, and they do it without a single line of dialogue.
It's genuinely good. I mean, traditional Doctor Who fans are like, this doesn't have a Cyberman killing people on it. Worst episode ever.
All right, Mike, I'm sorry to say this. You do not actually have bingo. We did not call out that there was blooper reel fodder, so that does not count.
Oh, shit.
Controversial.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think we're going to go to VAR. I think VAR is in effect here.
Actually, hang on. You did not mark her for free space, but I'm going to go ahead and accept that. He does indeed have bingo, so Mike is the winner.
Hey, well done, Mike.
What? You win. Wait, what does he win again?
Clout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy that clout.
So Mike has won with the free space of mirrors. Fres will be right back. Oops, we did it again. Rain is done with us all because that's been done several times now. And a companion isn't useless.
And it didn't even register that I was done with. So.
Hang on, a companion isn't useless counts?
Yeah.
Huh, I got bingo too then, according to that.
You're not allowed to have bingo.
I mean, I get it. I don't win anything, but I still got it.
Alright, and then Sean is the second winner.
And nobody else bothered with the bingo card, so thanks for that.
But yes, Mike is now officially our winner, and again, you get all the clout. So we'll probably mention you in the description of the video or something.
So basically, you win Sweet Fanny Adams, but feel good about yourself.
So, back to the rest of the episode. Zaroff has been captured.
You win this picture.
Yeah, oh no!
They're keeping them locked up in what is this?
Oh no!
That's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Zaroff is locked up in the Amdo thing with everyone else. And he's trying to bluff. He's like, "You fools, you can't stop my plan. My plan's already started." And the Doctor calls his bluff and is like, "The great Professor Zaroff would have to be there to push them."
Oh, also, if you guys want to clear off your bingo boards, you can go ahead and start over again to see if you can win again.
Sounds fun. That's
We have still another whole episode to go through. So.
All right.
Oh, yes, we have. But yeah. So Zarov at this point has a medical episode.
Yeah.
He falls down because he's a frail old man, and he could be dying of a heart attack. They're not quite sure. And so the doctor's the one thing he shouldn't do: split up the group.
Yep.
Have you learned nothing from Dungeons and Dragons, Doctor? So Ben, and Jamie go off to stop Zaroff's thing, and they leave Ramo and Polly to guard Zaroff. Which probably has once they're gone and all this shit happens, Zaroff promptly reveals that he was faking all along, and he has a fight with Ramo, and long story short, stabs Ramo with a spear and takes Polly off.
Do you know how he gets Ramo into position, though? Because this is really nasty.
How's that?
He plays on Ramo's devotion to Amdo.
Oh, damn.
He says, I'm a frail old man, but before I die, I want to find forgiveness with your God. Please pray with me.
Oh, nasty.
And Polly doesn't want to say, no, this must be a trick, we need to be careful. No, she encourages it.
I'm going to say it right now. For me, Professor Zarov is, and I apologize for ripping off your shtick, a dark mirror of the Doctor.
And now you're mirroring me. Fuck.
But he is, because they're both men of science. They're both really intelligent. They both want to change the world. But while the Doctor wants to change the world, I suppose he doesn't want to change the world, he just wants to experience the world. Zaroff is quite prepared to destroy Atlantis and the Earth just for scientific achievement. And that is not the Doctor.
So, there's a religious ceremony for Amdo going on. Everyone hides behind a stone slab while it's happening. And when they reemerge...
What have you...
itself, doesn't it?
Oh, no.
Oh no, they've all turned into fish people. Oh, wait.
So yeah, Ramo has been lured in by the power of prayer, and now he's dead.
So after everyone leaves and they pull up their fish masks, now they're like, you know what? Actually, leaving just Ramo and Polly alone with Zaroff is a bad idea. Jamie, maybe you should go back and guard Zaroff. Oh no! Look what happened. Ramo's been hurt, and Zaroff has escaped, and Ramo, convenient. He lives just long enough to tell him that Zaroff escaped, and then he dies.
Can we just for a second pour one out for poor Polly, who has to witness this horrendous murder directly in front of her, and she tries to stop it.
Yeah,
she realizes what he's going to do. He grabs the spear to kill him. She tries to pull the spear off of him. Good try. He backhands her, and then he stabs Ramo in the chest. And poor Polly has to witness while this happens. And then he abducts her. Again.
If only they had done something like tie him up or not split up.
I swear, 50% of this story is just Polly getting abducted by various people.
I mean, seriously, Polly, what the hell?
Yeah. Again, that Polly, not the lovely Polly who runs SocksmanPeopleSexy.net.
Yeah, we adore you, Polly, not this Polly.
Yeah.
Stream Polly.
But Jamie has caught up with Polly, and he fights off Zaroff.
I've written down nice dodge rolls, Jamie.
Yeah, he saw it coming, thankfully. But even he is losing against the Mad Professor until our two friendly miners...
like Dark Souls moves.
You died. But he doesn't die because our two friendly miners have returned fresh from irritating the fish people the hell off to assist in fighting off Zaroff.
Which ends with Zaroff getting away again, but...
While laughing maniacally.
And here comes the end of episode 3. Iconic. Zaroff busts into the king's chamber. And now, look, I know you mentioned Inferno, but Underwater Menace is objectively a better episode than Inferno. You know why? 3 episodes in, and the king has unequivocally realized that this guy who's in charge of this project is full of shit and should be stopped, and he tries to stop it.
Yeah.
And he isn't stopped by any bullshit where it's like, actually, I'm in charge here. You're mean. He's stopped by a fucking bullet because Zaroff has got a gun.
Yeah.
Zaroff's got a gun.
And he shoots the king. He has his guards just shoot two random dudes for no reason.
No, they're Faust's guards.
Yeah, just shoot. Well, he shoots them for. Yeah, he just shoots them because why not? And then he delivers the iconic line that ends episode 3. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. Nothing in the world can stop.
Yeah, somehow I doubt that, Professor Zaroff. Somehow I doubt that very much.
Yeah, for one, we lose motion again.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly we do. But
nothing in the world can stop me, except for the loss of the film.
Unfortunately, at that moment, the animator suffered a fatal heart attack.
Oh my God! But we do have part the part of episode 4 that leads into this for some reason. I don't know how we have it, but we do have a different line delivery. Maybe they match it to existing footage. I don't know.
Also, the reason why he gets his two guards to shoot Faustus guards, they have spears and they don't use them.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I know why, because we have to have them killed to set up the villainy of Zaroff. And the guards.
So episode 4 is
the guards aren't even seen as particularly villainous. They're just doing their job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they're not particularly villainous.
Oh God!
Oh
no! Raniac, you fool!
I'm sorry. What?
I'm not owned. As I suddenly shrink into a corn cob.
Okay, so episode 4.
It's like a bad episode of Scooby-Doo. We pull off Raniac's mask, and it turns out to be the TARDIS wiki the whole time.
The grand plan. Oh God. The grand plan to stop Zarov is we're gonna reverse the shit. We're instead of raising Atlantis, we're gonna flood it to stop Zarov.
Yeah,
because that's a good idea.
That's a great idea. Yeah,
you're gonna prevent Epidine from killing me by killing me.
Well, flood the bottom part and have everyone retreat upward more so that they can live and rebuild.
yeah, about that, Doctor.
Well, we're going to get to that.
What probably would have helped in this case? Telling everybody they were going to do this.
It just sort of.
Can we talk about the best line of episode 4, though?
Go wild.
The Doctor says, "I have a plan. It might even work."
Zaroff's in his lab and he's getting the countdown already. And, Joseph first was in a Bond movie. And this does have the feel of like Endgame Bond, 90 seconds to ignition, all that shit.
Yes.
It has that feeling. Meanwhile, Ben, who's still in the guard wetsuit, he and the Doctor are going to, I forget where the hell it is. Like the power room or something?
Yeah, so they're like, how are we going to get to the power? He said, well, the Doctor says we can't just walk straight into it. And then Ben goes, hang on a minute, I've got it. I'm a guard, you're a prisoner, right?
Yeah.
So I like the fact that the companion comes up with the idea and not the Doctor.
Check off the companion isn't useless.
Because sometimes I think modern Doctor Who is guilty of the sin where the companion doesn't do anything. They are too reliant on the Doctor.
Hello there, Yaz.
And they're very capable human beings, but for some reason, when they're in the presence of the Doctor, that all goes out of the window.
I am going to argue against Ben being useful here. Because of one exact thing.
Go on.
So the whole point of this is that they're going to pretend that the Doctor's a prisoner, go into this area, knock out the scientist dude that's inside, and then they're going to try to mess with the reactor, right?
Yeah.
May I remind everybody that this is a nuclear reactor, which they then proceed to make overload to the point that they set off a fucking radiation leak.
Yeah.
And I believe at one point, Jamie and Polly see the walls fucking glowing from it.
They sure do.
Meaning that now everybody in there is irradiated.
Yeah.
Well, the story glosses over this, but
and the comparisons to
obviously
Inferno,
they do, but
the
still.
comparisons to Inferno intensify.
I do kind of like the guard and prisoner trick, where it's just like the guard asks for the password, and Ben's just like, "Oh, come on, I'm new. I've been out all day looking for this idiot. I don't know."
And the guard buys it.
And later he's just like, and the doctor's just like, "I bet you don't know the password either. It's Oscar."
Yeah.
And then they go to another guard. They use that password.
I like that.
So they can do their sabotage.
Yeah.
And I do have a line written here. It must be the doctor who says it. Of course, I don't know what I'm doing, which sums up episode 4 entirely. Anyway,
sums up his entire character entirely.
Anyway, they fuck with the nuclear reactor. It makes that wall while Jamie and Polly are trying to climb up and escape. It makes a wall glow from radiation, and eventually it cracks. And it's time to mention Peter Gabriel again, because here comes the flood.
Oh no! Can I just mention that I love the attention to detail that they pay to Jamie's origins here, where Polly is explaining about radiation, and Jamie doesn't know anything about radiation. And of course, he wouldn't, because he was from 1746.
Yeah.
They actually remember that the historic companion wouldn't know about modern technologies that came after him.
Yeah. They're pretty good about that in the Second Doctor era.
And again, Polly's showing a lot more knowledge than she probably should about things like radiation. But
yeah, probably.
I like it though. It adds to her character. It shows that if she did start as a secretary, she's learning things from her travels with the Doctor.
I mean, they're both going to have all their hair fall out from the radiation. But
yeah,
but So I want to give props to the loose cannon team again for, like I said, they add some motion in their images and stuff. And they do a really neat thing here where the Amdo temple starts flooding and water starts pouring out of the eyes and mouth. And so they actually have, I guess they made a gif of water running out of the mouth and eyes.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
For their reconstruction, and it's a really good effect.
That effect is really good. Another effect they use later on, not so much.
Oh, we'll tell that. So yeah, the Amdo temple is collapsing. There's some symbolism there. Ancient god is failing them. It's all flooding. Meanwhile, the Doctor and co have gone down to Zaroff's lab to stop him directly. And all his technicians are there, and the Doctor just casually lets slip that Zaroff plans to blow up the world.
Yeah, and they just all run away.
Excuse me.
They just run away. So we got a showdown now between Ben the Doctor and Professor Zaroff.
Well, actually, when he says that A, Zaroff's planning to blow up the world, and B, they flooded this entire thing, and any minute now they're all gonna blub under the sea.
Yeah.
So they're just like, we're out of here.
They all run away, but
Zaroff has a cage, and he locks himself in the control room.
Before we get to the cage, though, there's an important thing happening away from this confrontation.
What's that?
So Faust has survived being shot.
Oh yeah, they're taking him out.
Yeah, and he has found himself with Jacko and Sean and Amar.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Amar. Ara.
Yeah.
It was that Irish thing again. It got in my head, but we get a horrible off-camera explanation here. The fat priest is dead. He didn't evacuate in time. Joining him in the afterlife are all the other miners.
Yeah, just a bit. Like I said, kind of weird. Happened to mention to somebody he was going to do this.
It's not confirmed directly, but Jacko and Shaw are talking, saying well, the miners obviously didn't make it because they were too far down.
Whoops.
We just killed the innocent slave labor.
Which is going to create problems a little later for the Doctor in this episode, morals wise. But anyway, back to the cage thing. Zaroff has a cage. He's locked himself in with the controls, which is a big plunger. And the Doctor fucks around with the power.
I love the fact he's going to blow up the world with a Looney Tunes style dynamite plunger.
Yes.
I'd expect nothing less. But the Doctor fucks with the lighting, and he's like, it's much more exciting in the dark.
And they actually lower the brightness.
Rage, he's still just a Zaroff in a cage.
They do lower the brightness.
This is all a clever ruse because Ben ran away. But that gets Zaroff out of the cage, and then Ben sneaks in, and he locks the shit so Zaroff can't get to the plunger anymore.
As the
Zaroff
captions
is
happily say, Ben pretends to surrender, so he gets him the old phony surrender routine.
And so they've locked this cage behind Zaroff so that he can't reach the plunger and blow up the world. And he's desperately trying to reach it. No.
You call it a cage. It is quite clearly a metal grate, and the animation for it coming down is god awful.
Well, they do what they can.
They tried.
Mm-hmm.
They should have tried harder.
The doctor and Ben head on up, and then the doctor stops and says, "Oh, wait, Ben, I can't leave poor Professor Zaroff to drown."
Oh no, I suddenly have morality after killing who knows how many miners. I better go back and save the evil bastard who tried to blow up the world.
So at the time I thought that this was just, it's Doctor Who, man who, they don't want to show him like callously letting this guy die. They want to show at least he tried to save him. But then again, the miners and all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I don't know if this was a
fall. He can't go back.
I don't know if this was an embellishment for loose cannon, but they actually show Zaroff drowning.
Yeah.
You mean like the footage?
Well, I don't know if it's the footage or they've just like animated it themselves, but this.
No. You're right. No, they there's like the 2-second footage of Zaroff drowning. That actually exists.
Okay.
That 2 seconds of footage.
I love the fact that the death of the villain exists, but nothing else.
Well, I can tell you why. The short answer is Australian censors cut that part out of the episode, and then like super 60s missing episode hunters in Australia.
May I rant a bit about the death of Zaroff, because something about it doesn't sit right with me.
Well, I just want to say before we get to that the whole "oh no, we can't leave Zaroff to die" is immediately undercut because 2 seconds after the doctor tries to go back for him, a bunch of rocks fall, and he's like, "Oh well, he can't save him."
Yeah. And Ben's the sensible one and is trying to lead him away at that point. So, points to Ben.
Yeah. Anyway, blub Zaroff.
Zaroff's dead. So, it's absolutely right that he dies, that the price he pays for his villainy is death. But you could have made this so much more dramatic. So if I had been writing this episode, I would have had it so that rather than just being drowned in a 2-second clip, he gets out of the room somehow. He makes it to the temple room of Ando, and then the statue of Ando falls on him and crushes him.
Oh, poetic!
Yeah, and then you have the poetic ending.
I liked the way he died for one simple reason. What was his master plan?
Oh yeah.
Blow up the world?
Right, it was to blow up the world. That's a big, extravagant death. What better way to show someone up than to make them quietly drown someplace where nobody will ever find them again?
I see your point. You make him insignificant by making his death insignificant.
And also, exactly. he could have escaped, but he was so obsessed with blowing up the world that he refused. He was just like trying to reach that lever till the very end.
There is a novelization of this particular serial, and they slightly change his death in it.
I haven't read that book.
I haven't either. But remember the fat priest from earlier, Lolam?
Yep.
Well, in the book version, he actually survives for a little bit. He encounters Zaroff. He pulls a knife on him. They fight, and they both drown together.
What?
So he's still drowned.
I'm not a fan of that.
It's kind of what you're going for, the religious versus superstitious.
Yeah, but I felt a bit sorry for the fat priest because, again, he was just doing what he believed to be right.
Mm-hmm. So, basically, what happens, Jamie and Polly make it back up to the surface. We're going to make a new Atlantis without the gods or without the fish people. And, by the way, what happened to the fish people? Do they just own Atlantis now? Are they just happily swimming down there?
I guess, because they're not affected by the flood in the slightest because of the gills.
Well, actually, they might be affected by one thing, and that's the fucking radiation.
Oh, yeah.
That's also true. Well, maybe they got out.
Oh, God, we also committed genocide, oops.
Will turn them into even bigger fish people.
Yeah. I will headcanon that the fish people survive.
Doctor Who genocide run.
What is this, Terror of the Vervoids?
Oh god, no.
I will also like to mention that in the same novelization that Rain was talking about earlier, apparently they gave the reason for Zaroff wanting to blow up the world is because he went mad after his wife and daughter died.
Oh.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, wow. So here's some mirroring for you. Zaroff is a mirror for Professor what's his face from the K9 Australian show. Griffin.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah, wife and daughter died and pursuing science.
Well, technically, Professor Griffin had 2 kids.
Oh, he had 2.
And
Okay.
a daughter.
I didn't know that. But yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much the same idea.
The Underwater Menace is the prequel to the Time Monster.
No, it's not the same thing because Griffin is not a murderous psychopath.
That's why I said dark mirroring.
Oh right, I didn't catch the dark bit.
The Underwater Menace is a prequel to Time Monster. The Time Monster, yeah. The Atlantis in Time Monster is actually like ancient Atlantis. I kind of want to do that for some time because that is a very...
Oh god.
There are parts of it that don't hold up, but also it has just enough gonzo that I am like, I can roll
Is that a
with this.
Pertwee episode?
It's a Pertwee story.
Okay.
Yeah.
We may have to consider that for the future, but
Well, we yeah, somewhere in the distance. But anyway, the wrap up is pretty fast. As soon as the Doctor and co get out of there, they basically just hop in the TARDIS and fuck off.
It's basically we get our different groups of survivors making their way up to the surface. So you've got Faust, the 2 miners, Ara, and also Damon, who at this point has joined their group.
Yeah, he's fine. He's like,
so he is saved, and of course he actually inadvertently saved the fish people if they weren't nuked to hell. So he gets to survive, and they think the Doctor has drowned, saving Atlantis. So their legacy to him will be a new Atlantis without fish people and without superstitions. That will be his legacy. Polly and Jamie have made it to the surface. They've got no sign of the Benzel diving sickness, and they think they've lost the Doctor and Ben for good. So they're upset. And then you've got the Doctor and Ben climbing out, and Ben thinks that he's lost Polly.
Just a bunch of melodrama.
Yeah, which is quickly undercut because it turns out they all survived. And they all remarkably end up on the same rocky crag. So they get in the TARDIS and leave. Yeah. Jamie's on board with travelling through time now, despite the fact he nearly died twice.
But oh no, the TARDIS is out of control.
Before we do that, though, I would like to mention one line here that I'm going to read off verbatim from TARDIS Wiki, just because it's the resource I have at this point.
Go ahead.
As they dematerialize, Jacko and Sean look on in bemusement. May I remind everybody that they're in the middle of fucking nowhere. They were abducted, and what's that one thing that the Doctor could have done in order to make sure that they got back to friends, family, so on? The Doctor doesn't fucking contact anybody.
Nope.
So they're just stranded there with no way to be able to communicate to the outside world in order to get help.
Oh, whoops.
So in this case, the Doctor has fucked up at least 2 people, or at least 2 races of people. He's fucked up the Atlanteans.
What you're basically saying is that this is Orphan 55 before Orphan 55.
Oh my god!
We have an environmental destruction plot line. We have friendly strangers who are completely abandoned to their fate by the Doctor, who doesn't care about them.
Yeah.
This is Orphan 55.
No wonder I love it.
It's like the only thing that the Doctor had to do was like go into the TARDIS, bring out this weird machine, say, "Here, push this button. It'll send out a distress signal, and someone will come and pick you up." Or give them an old time radio and say, "Here, use this. You'll be able to contact somebody." Or I will contact somebody for you. But no, he just.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Krista!
Krista, you're welcome.
Oh, we inspired it. Oh my god!
I don't know. Am I asking for too much? I mean,
No, I get where you're coming from.
Some sort of like it's like we were while you were gone, we were talking about Marvel movies and stuff like that. It's kind of like in the DC movies where they had that big thing about the massive amounts of destruction that were in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like if you could just acknowledge that, that'd be fantastic.
Right. So, either way, they do.
The reason why the TARDIS is out of control, though, is wild. So, they basically just mess with the Doctor. They just poke the Doctor. They just push the Doctor's buttons here. It's like saying, "I'll have you know that I could take the TARDIS to an exact location and be in complete control of it." Oh yeah, right. So, well, just for that, I'm going to prove it to you. We're going to Mars. And then everything goes wrong. The TARDIS is out of control and presumably hurtles towards Mars. Now, I don't know what story...
what's really funny?
What?
You want to know what's funny? You're saying that they're poking the Doctor's buttons and saying he can't control the thing, and he's trying to prove it by going to Mars. You want to know what the next story's called?
What?
The Moon Base.
So they don't go to Mars?
They don't go to Mars.
I love it.
So
oh my god, I just looked at what the Moon Base is. That has Cybermen.
It does.
But which Cybermen? Does it have the old Mondasians or...
They're Mondasians, yes.
It says it saw the reappearance and first redesign of the Cybermen, solidifying their place as one of the series' key villains.
It's the Tomb era Cybermen.
I have two questions. One, does the Moon Base exist in full?
It's like this one, half missing, but the two halves are animated.
Excellent. And secondly, is it better than Tomb of the Cybermen?
Yes! Technically.
Rain.
Yeah?
It's not racist.
Did you
That's one thing.
Say it like you said it?
What, is it better than Tomb of the Cybermen?
No, you said, is the Moon Base in full?
Oh!
Ish. Yeah. No, ish. Yeah. It's complicated. Like it would be a hard pick. It would kind of be like pick your poison.
I might try that. I might try that in my own time because I think apart from this one that we had to do because we have been building up to for so long, I don't want to do the ones that are only like partially there.
Well, if it's animated, I think it's fair game.
I think animated's fair game, yeah. So
yeah. But if it's like there are very few.
Instead of racism, it has loads of sexism instead.
Yeah. It's not.
So it's about as bad as the Tomb of the Cybermen, just with a different evil.
Is there a single Cyberman classic episode that does not have sexism or racism in it?
Because
it's starting to feel like a trend.
I don't know.
What's the one where they march down the steps of St. Paul's? Is that Invasion of Time?
That's Invasion, yes.
Sorry, not Invasion of Time. That's a different story. The Invasion, yeah. I don't think that's
Invasion.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't seen that one in a while.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. So if it is, don't take my word for it. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
Invasion,
what do we think then about the Underwater Menace?
Who's starting?
I think you've waited so long for this. I think we have to give you first dibs. Okay,
so look, it's kind of been me liking it, and in writing it for this thing, the last time I watched it, I really wasn't feeling episode 4. I was kind of bored by it, but I was a little more invested this time. I like Underwater Menace. It's fine. It could be a lot goofier, but it definitely is goofy in all the right ways. Fish People Strike is one of the most majestic avant-garde things I've seen in Doctor Who history. It's like, not since the Web Planet has it just been this weird. Atlantis is a little stock, and you've got the mad scientist plot, and you've got the problems of glossing over shit as it hurries to its climax. But it's a dumb, fun Doctor Who episode. It's nowhere near one of the worst of all time. You can throw it on. I mean, it's missing, so you got to do a little bit of legwork, but you can throw it on and you can have a good time with it. I genuinely kind of like it. Someone's got to stand up for the thing, and I've been doing it for the past 6 years. So I'm very curious to hear what you two think.
Okay.
I would like to go last, so...
Okay. Oh, and everybody in the stream, Frez went first, so mark that off on your bingo cards.
Yeah.
That was a bingo card?
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Fred's first.
My God, you mad woman.
Frez going first. I figured that'd be really good because it's truly random.
Get out of my head!
But I guess I'll go next. I do have some problems with this serial. One of the things is it doesn't need to be about Atlantis. Literally, it was one throwaway line, and then that was it. If you had made it so that the dude found a bunch of people who lived underwater, and he put them into a frenzy so that they would want to escape from underwater, that would be kind of interesting. The fact that you make it Atlantis is just a basic throwaway line that allows you to want to raise it above sea level. Just because Atlantis is known for sinking into the sea. I don't like the fact that a whole bunch of random people die for no reason. I don't like the fact that they sort of hand wave away a lot of that as well. Otherwise, I thought it was a decent plot. You know, it had a dude who just wanted to destroy the world just because he could. You know, the Doctor is very funny in this. The second Doctor is really good at being a troll. I like the companions. I do wish they got a little bit more to do, but what they did is fine. Although I do agree with what Polly's actress said, where she did not like the fact that Polly was such a damsel in distress for this serial, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, this was a fun series to watch. I rather enjoyed the little bits that they put in for the version of the 2 episodes that are missing. I wish that they weren't missing because it'd be more fun to see more of the fish people swimming around. The fish people are fantastic, and all over, I would say that I would probably watch this again if I had to, but I can't say that I would personally seek it out just because I do have some issues with it.
That's fair.
Okay.
Rain, go on.
Okay, I'm going to preface this. Get your torch and pitchforks ready now, because you're probably not going to like what I have to say about this.
Alright,
Okay, so mechanically, this episode just doesn't work for me. Mechanically only. There are far too many scenes where Polly gets abducted. There are far too many scenes where it's just about one or more of the members of the gang escaping from somebody. And Zaroff, well, Zaroff's good as a villain, but he's also a bit generic take over the world, although, of course, he's not going to take over the world. But, for all its mechanical problems and for all its clunkiness, the concepts here are really strong. Yes, Kat's right. We don't need to... sorry, I'm just laughing at what Mike wrote in the chat about the sky turning black.
Yeah.
We technically did not need to be in Atlantis. It was very superfluous and superficial to the story that was being told. We perhaps could have touched more on this idea of Amdo, the false fish idol, but I can see why in the 60s they didn't want to go too far into that. They don't mind being political, but you can't alienate too many people that they'll just turn off watching your show and never come back to it. Speaking of which, the politics of this are actually really good because they're not too overt. And yes, I know why Jerry likes this, because the whole way of stopping the scheme is to get the fish people to go on strike. Direct action. Hi, Greenpeace, how you doing? And yeah, I shouldn't enjoy this, and yet, in spite of all of that, I actually really like this. I mean, it was hard to watch the 2 reconstructed episodes. That's not a dig on loose cannon. I think for what they've got to work with, they do a fantastic job.
You get used to reconstructions as you go. Like, I've done all the reconstructions. You really just gotta get used to it. Some of them drag on more than others.
And
especially
I am glad,
when it's like 4 or 5
that we finally got to see what the fish people are all about. Because I like what Kat and Jerry said. The fish people are fantastic. They deserve to be in more things. It's a real shame that their one reference in modern Doctor Who It's an episode by that writer we're not going to mention.
I will say something here. I don't know if you've seen this movie or not. Fresno, this makes me want to watch Underwater Menace now. Do it.
Good.
Go
Good.
Go watch it. Have fun.
Yeah. Just make sure you watch.
A couple years ago, I was toying with the idea of doing like Doctor Who fanfic, like my own original Doctor. Like the idea was she was sort of like a business lady type, eccentric business lady type, and her TARDIS. You remember the end of Deep Breath, where the half-faced man ends up in wherever in the garden, and Missy is there.
Oh god, I love that whole bit.
Imagine that, but a TARDIS set. That's what I imagine her TARDIS is like.
I'm not going to get into the fact that he was a machine and therefore should not have been in why he was in her version of the afterlife.
That doesn't matter. Anyway, my idea for the first story of this Doctor introducing the new companion in this Doctor was basically, I don't know if you've seen the Boots Riley movie, Sorry to Bother You, but with fish people.
Oh wow.
And that would make sense if you've seen that movie. If you haven't, you should probably see that movie.
Yeah. And that is indeed, as I just changed the picture there, that is indeed all we've got for the Underwater Menace.
I guess.
It's finally over. Sorry, that makes it sound like I've been hating it.
Fish people. That's what we
did it. We did episode 100.
So when I say it's finally over, that makes it sound like it was a great ordeal. It wasn't. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's finally over, and that we're finally stopping this bullshit. There's going to be no more Doctor Who reviews whatsoever. We're done.
Wait, what?
We're not.
No, we're not done. And in fact, I believe I get next pick.
6 more years.
Oh god, I'm not sure I could take 6 more years.
Yeah. Well, so I think I believe I get next pick.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, let's get to your next pick, and then we'll then I'll talk a little bit about things that are happening in the next couple of days. Go ahead.
Here's my logic behind this. This is not a usual choice for me because as of this recording, I haven't gone back to these in a while. This is not one of my favorites. It's
Would you
not.
like a drum roll for this?
No, you don't need a drum. It's not that important. But I'm going to go behind my logic for this. We just had a Gonzo story with Underwater Menace, so I want to go with something a little more, air quotes, traditional. And in the same breath, we just talked about a story. Hang on. And in the same breath, we just talked about a story that is on the bottom of the big Doctor Who fan poll from 2014. So here is a story that is beloved by those same fans. And is number 24 on the list.
Oh, no.
And it's also an episode that I think we have to just bite the bullet and rip off. It'll make for interesting discussion.
We're doing Frontios, aren't we?
We're not doing Frontio. We're not doing Frontios.
Run, Mike.
Mike, you are saved for another week.
No, but Mike will probably like this choice. We kind of just got to bite the bullet and rip this off and do it. I think it will make an interesting discussion along the lines of a podcast I will not mention because it's probably going to be a bit of an evisceration of a fan classic.
Uh-oh.
Next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Peter Davison in Earthshock.
Oh no!
Fucking hell!
We gotta do it right.
You can't do this to her.
Oh,
I can do this, doll. Hey, I got twin dilemma. We got to do it sometime. You're gonna make
me watch Adric die. You horrible person.
Hey, what?
Earthshock. I know at least one thing that happens at Earthshock.
Wait, you know that?
Yes.
Damn it.
Shit! We've been playing around that spoiler for ages, thinking you didn't know.
Chris!
You think I didn't know?
Nothing in the world can stop them now. You remember the Terminus podcast where you were like, oh, they're in Adric's room and all the stuff is there? What, did he die? And Rainiac and I were literally just like, oh, shit.
Do you remember that bit in The Simpsons where the guy's grasping at his collar because he's been accused of committing a federal crime when he hasn't?
See, the problem was that you reacted to me, so I was immediately like, what are they talking about? Sorry,
I muted my microphone for that bit, or I thought I did, but...
Well, son of a bitch. Okay, so you know one surprise. First shock. All right, so it's not going to hurt so bad. I'm not going to get killed by you for, like, surprise.
No, you don't understand. It's still going to hurt that badly because I don't like watching kids die.
I can't believe...
It's not a violent death, if that helps.
Seriously,
No.
of all the episodes you could have picked...
Listen.
Wait,
hard
hang on.
You picked freaking Earthshock.
Does the fan base like this because Adric's gone?
What?
Does the fan base like this because Adric is gone?
Yes!
Well, they might like that part, but they also like it's. I'll just say this. This is the good version of Ascension.
Oh, fucking hell.
I think they also like it because the Cybermen have got some pretty good characterization in this one.
It's very traditional Cyberman story.
Hang on, I have a question. Is this from the same poll that they put Talon so high?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, then I can immediately discredit them. Excellent.
Exactly. So this is another. Well, you mentioned the story that we're not supposed to mention. So this is going to be another podcast like that, I think, where we just take this fan beloved thing and rip it apart.
Yay!
I mean, we might do that. I don't think it's as bad as the story we're not supposed to mention.
Oh, it's not as bad in that sense, but also it's just like it's very Chibnall-esque.
Also, I think if we do this one, that means that we've only got 2 more away from that big watch along that I got into Classic Who with that had, Pyramids of Mars and the Doctor Who 8th Doctor movie and Vengeance on Varos. Some say it's a classic.
You know what? Just because you all are going to make me watch a child die, my pick next time is going to be Frontios.
That's... Well, Kat, you actually, you know what? Never mind. Oh no, don't pick Frontios. Anything but that.
I love how you've decided to punish Fresno, and you've done it by punishing Mike instead.
Yes.
Oh no, Frontios! Don't pick that, Cat. Anything but that. I definitely don't want to watch Frontios.
It's okay, Mike. It's okay, Mike. I'm telling them Frontios. What I'm actually going to pick is Twin Dilemma. So we actually.
Yeah.
God fucking.
I'm begging you, Cat. Don't use the hand.
Should we wrap this sucker up?
Yeah. Probably. So there's a couple of things to mention. So we still don't have any kind of... you just made his night. Well done.
Hang on. I want to try something really fast. Mike, we're going to do Frontios.
Cat's gotten addicted to the power of live reaction.
I've gotten a taste of power. And
this is the boo yay wrestling reaction done live.
I've tasted blood and I want more.
Blood for the blood god.
This is like when John Cena and anybody who's not named John Cena start punching each other and the crowd goes boo yay, boo yay.
Jesus Christ. Oh God.
I think he actually left.
Oh my God. Jesus. Just dead silence.
He didn't, no, but
okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so yeah, a couple of things to wrap up. So this was recorded. This was done out live on the Saturday. So this unfortunately will be too late for the people that are watching just the VOD. You should have been here live. What can I say? But tomorrow, on the 28th of February, they are ending once again the Doctor Who lockdown episode watch-alongs done by the great Emily Cook. And they originally picked the Unicorn and the Wasp. And then she realised that was a terrible idea because of the writer of Unicorn and the Wasp. But it's okay. She picked a hell of a replacement because it's a 3-part watch-along. 6 p.m. GMT, Utopia. 7 p.m. GMT, Sound of the Drums. 8 p.m. GMT, The Last of the Freaking Time Lords.
No, that's a bill if there ever was one.
If you have not seen these 3 episodes, I cannot recommend these enough.
Hey, maybe you'll pick them next time.
Arguably one of the best
you
incarnations
mean
of the
Unicorn
Master.
the Wasp was written by Gareth Roberts.
Oh no, you said the name!
And we just disappeared into a black hole. Thank you, Kat.
Voldemort!
Gareth Roberts,
Wait.
that fucking asshole.
I think you just saved us. No, the PTA has not disbanded.
No, honestly, I am against not saying his name for one reason. We should absolutely say his name with the add-on that he is a dick.
Christopher again.
That means that out there, and there'll be more people saying, "Oh yeah, Gareth Roberts, the absolute fucking asshole."
Christopher's just been on fire in the chat tonight.
So I'm of the opinion, don't edit him out. Edit in something that says that he is a fucking asshole.
Yeah, all right.
I'll give you the clip.
But
Gareth
the reason
Roberts
why
sucks.
they the reason why they decided to not go with the Unicorn and the Wasp is because it was it is harmful to the trans community. We shouldn't do that. By the way, I'll say it live on air right now. Trans rights.
Trans rights!
This is a show that will always advocate for anybody of the LGBT community, no matter who, what, or when you are.
Exactly. You are valid.
Did you say when you are?
Yes. Because there's some people who are going to be watching this in the future, so I wanted to include them as well.
Good choice.
There you go. That's nice.
Yeah.
And
on that lovely moment of unity, I don't think there's anything more to cover, is there? I'm just trying to think. We don't have any definitive news on Series 13. People are still...
I'd also like to say, if anybody is going to watch this or has been watching this that is against trans rights, you can leave.
Yeah, no.
We're not the show for you.
You're gonna have to find
that right now.
Story.
I mean, given that one of our biggest advocates is Kristen McTeer, the author of the excellent book Back to the 11th Hour, available now on all good Kindle bookstores.
It's only what, £5?
I think it is, yeah.
Buy the book.
Very affordable. It's very good. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We have a rule on our official Twitter that we always have to mention her in our pinned comment, so...
Congratulations to Mike, who got double bingo!
So,
well, I think we're going to wrap up now, but before we do wrap up...
Look forward to April, when the blog version of Back to the 11th Hour Season 2 drops, along with the...
Yeah, and that's going to be great as well. But I would just like to get something profound off my chest before we stop.
Okay,
because
don't get real.
The reason... Oh, I'm going to get super real. The reason we are all here tonight, the reason we have reached episode 100, is not me. The reason is all of you. I couldn't have got this far without you guys. If I were just doing this on my own, and I did do it on my own for the Series 7 for the most part, and they were terrible. Don't tell me that they weren't. I know when my work is terrible. They were terrible. And then I brought on other people to bounce off me, and suddenly we had something that was really rather good. So this is just a profound thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking with us for 6 years. And I'm sorry we didn't do more podcasts in that time, but the only reason we did the classic watch-alongs was because of the pandemic. And now I think we're going to continue them after the pandemic.
Yeah, shotgun through all that shit.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing them until there's nothing left.
But the best thing about this is it's introduced me to some
then
wonderful
we're
people.
talking about the books.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but...
And then after that, we're going to talk about Torchwood.
I really wouldn't go that far.
Okay, after that, you're going to make us watch the rest of Australian Canine.
Yes.
I thought we agreed
Actually,
that wasn't going to happen.
Forget the classic Doctor Who. We're going back to the K9.
Also, thank you for completely railroading my heartfelt profound thanks to the viewers. So thanks for that.
That's what we're here for.
I thought you okay. Well, go ahead.
But yeah,
continue.
Seriously, I couldn't. What this podcast has done over the years is introduced me to some wonderful people who are wonderfully talented, wonderfully creative, and just, God damn it, are just
Not
brilliant people.
Podcast.
They are just brilliant people.
No.
So I thank the fact that I have been introduced to those people, and they seem to tolerate me. Let's put it that way. They seem to think I'm not an asshole. In the grand scheme of things,
talking about mirrors for 6 years.
In the grand scheme of things, I will.
Were we supposed to not think he's an asshole? Because...
I will happily take you're not an asshole. That's like the biggest compliment you could possibly pay me. But also, in addition to the viewers, I have to thank my wonderful, brilliant co-hosts. Because I wouldn't be here still doing this without you, Freezing Inferno, you, Kat, and I think he's left now, but Kachiri.
He deserves the thanks. We got to keep that trope alive.
Yeah, so just I'm not good at these off the cuff speeches, but just thank you to everybody, and we will continue to try and provide entertainment and laughter, and some light out of the darkness for as long as we can.
Lord knows we all need that right now.
Yep. And thank you, Rainiac, for letting us participate in this bullshit.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Yeah. I'll thank you both for enabling my nonsense and allowing me to just go full gonzo at this shit. I mean, look at the shit I've made you watch over the years. Well, you pick Web Planet Rainiac, so that one's
okay. So
I picked Talons.
That's
I'm a monster.
I picked Tomb. I'm a bigger monster.
I picked Earthshock, so we're going to see how much of a monster I am.
Oh, you are history's greatest monster if you picked Earthshock. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
Spare parts. That's an audio. All right.
I do apologise for the schmaltz, but I just thought I had to acknowledge what the hell has happened. And no, she didn't actually pick Frontiers, Mike. That was a troll to get you to react specifically.
Well, I haven't picked it yet.
Or was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All I can say is, if you do not want Frontios to be my next pick, we have a wonderful email address at goexterminateyourself@gmail.com where you can offer up some suggestions to give me.
Mike emails.
Hang on a minute. To give you, specifically you.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm going to take them all and I'm not going to share them with you guys. I'll show you all the other emails, not this one.
Oh, cute.
You do know I have the password for that account, right?
No, you don't. You have the Twitter, but you don't have this one.
You do know I had the password for that account, right?
No, you don't.
Right.
Past tense. I think I don't. I think you're right. Yeah, I'm confusing this way. But no, I'm sorry for the schmaltz, but I need to say that. I need to get that out in the open.
It's 100 episodes. You're allowed a little heartfelt.
I can't believe we've done it, and I can't believe we've got to the end of the 100th episode.
Y'all, I love this show, and I love all y'all. So,
I just feel like a great weight has lifted off of my shoulders.
And immediately plunk down as we do episode 101 in Earthshock.
Yes, and then just crushes me into oblivion again.
So, sign-offs?
Yeah, so, thank you for listening to us talk about the Underwater Menace. I hope it was worth the wait. Thank you to all of you who took the time out to join us at any time during the live stream. I hope your time has not been wasted. Thank you to the people who are watching the recorded, edited version live on YouTube. It should be up. Well, obviously it's up now, but you know what I mean. And thank you to my two wonderful co-hosts again, and to Sir not appearing in this review, Kachiri.
And thank you to the chat for showing up.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
To everyone who has interacted with us over the years, even if they're no longer here with us because they moved on to bigger, better things, thank you. Just thank everybody.
Yeah.
Thank everybody who gave us the time of day to watch one of our shitty ass episodes and tell us where we were adequate.
Yeah. And we'll see you in about 10 days' time from the YouTube going up, as we talk about Earthshock. Oh gods, this is going to hurt. Until next time, you've been a wonderful audience, and bye for now.
And don't forget, David Cameron fucked a pig.